Hi guys, this is my tech tip for the week, and that is Duolingo at duolingo.com, or they also just released an app for the iPhone. They're working on the Droid, but it's not out yet. So Duolingo is an online language learning service, and you can sign in just by doing email password, or what I do, just connect through Facebook. And once this loads, I'll show you how it looks. So once you start, it gives you this kind of a tree, is what they call it, and basically you have, these are all different lessons, and you work your way down till you get down to the bottom. Kind of let it load a little bit. There we go. So like I said, it just keeps going down, and I've looked over the different kind of lessons, and once you go down to the entire thing, you'll actually have covered a lot of information. Up front, up top, it's pretty basic stuff, basics and animals and colors and food. And right now I'm learning Spanish, and there's also an option for French, German, Portuguese, and there's also an ESL option for Portuguese. They're also planning on releasing more languages. Right now they're thinking about Italian and Mandarin, and I'm sure as they continue to grow, they'll add more languages. Duolingo itself is pretty young, so they're still working out all the kinks. Another option they just added is your ability to follow people. So I have some Facebook friends on here, and then some other people within the Duolingo community itself. So this way you could use it in the classroom, for a student could follow the teacher and vice versa, in order to see how far a teacher or a student has progressed or done exercises. Right now, I would say that Duolingo isn't the best for a main classroom activity, just because you don't really control what's in the lessons. They are, however, talking about having a teacher dashboard, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that and see how it improves. So let's see how it works. It's pretty user-friendly. The home screen is your tree, and then you can go around to the other tabs. Duolingo is completely free because by using Duolingo, you're providing a service. So what you're doing is you're giving a translation of sentences that are online from one language into another. So all these, for now, I'm rating these translations to make sure that they are correct. And let me just look over real quick. Okay, it looks pretty good, so I'll rate it. It's good, not great. And this helps get the real online page translated. If you guys ever notice when you sign into things and it has you type in a couple letters, that's called a CAPTCHA. And basically, Duolingo is just a whole bunch of CAPTCHAs that you're translating. So essentially, by doing Duolingo, you are translating the internet. Okay. Every time you do a lesson, you get points, and right there when I did that translation, I got a point. Right now I'm level 6 in Spanish, and I'm almost halfway to 7. It really doesn't matter, the points don't mean anything, but it helps. It actually makes it a lot more fun to have it more like a game. Duolingo is really good because it allows you to do a whole bunch of different kind of exercises. I'll jump into the lesson here and show you where it works. So it speaks to you, so you have to be able to listen, and you have to read, and there is an option to speak into it. And if you don't know a word, you just highlight it. So this one, no, you are not going. got that correct. Cool. One thing that I've noticed with a lot of other online translations or any kind of websites, like if you had to use Kia or anything for a class here, they're very specific. But here, like if I don't put a period or something at the end, then it's not a big deal. And I can type in like one thing or the other. It's not what word for word exactly. And like I didn't need a period. And it says that you could have written this as well. So they're very flexible, which is good. Now, with the listening, it's really nice because if you're not paying attention, you can just replay it. You're like, wow, that was way too much for me. I can just do it slower. And with many foreign languages, as some of you probably know, that there's a lot of letters that are not here in English. So they give that to you, which makes it a lot nicer. And let's say, this is a new word, but I forget this word. I can look, and they kind of make it fun because it shows you that you peeked. Now the only problem with Duolingo is once you start a lesson, you kind of have to keep going and going and going until the end, or until you lose. You have 3 hearts, which if you make a mistake, then it takes away a heart, and when you lose all your hearts, then you lose the lesson. It kind of makes it more like a game again, which makes it more fun. And then some websites are only based on pictures and words, like Rosetta Stone. Many of you are familiar with that. But Rosetta Stone does not give you the grammar lessons that you need. So here are some lessons right here. And then if you go onto a lesson, I'm going to skip out of that, and if you go to plurals, let's say, and when you go down, it shows you what kind of words you know and some tips. So if you're not sure how you make it a plural, you just look at the tips. And then I also like free rice because it's great to be able to pick up and just go, but there only is a couple words here and there, and it's not very well structured. I think Duolingo is probably the best way to go if you want to learn a language, because it is fun. It can be a little competitive if you do it with the leaderboard, or it also has a daily reminder option, and since it's more of a game, it helps, and you're providing a service. So that's Duolingo, and I hope you guys start learning some languages or using your classroom.